It's a Tuesday night. You get home, flick the switch for the boiler, and nothing. No hot water, no heat. The engineer's coming tomorrow and he's already warned you on the phone. Could be £200, could be £600, depends on what's broken inside. You open your banking app under the kitchen light. Your balance says £84. That's it. That's the whole disaster. Not a movie, not some far-off doom, just a broken boiler on a normal Tuesday in a normal kitchen. And for a huge number of people across the UK, that one small moment is the line between annoying and actual crisis. I spend way too much time thinking about how far a normal paycheck can really stretch and how to build a safety net under it. If you're someone who feels like your money disappears before the month's even over, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here's the thing about budgeting. Most people hear that word and picture a spreadsheet, rows and columns. Every coffee, every bus fare, typed in by hand, forever. No wonder people give up in a week. But that's not what a budget is for. A budget isn't a diary of your spending. It's a plan for how your money is spent before it leaves your hands. And the whole point of that plan isn't to stop you from buying coffee. It's to make sure that when life throws something at you, a boiler, a car, a dentist bill you didn't see coming, you're not standing in your kitchen with £84 and a phone call to make. And this isn't rare. Research from the FCA, the regulator that watches over UK banks and building societies, found that 1 in 10 adults in this country has no cash savings at all. None. Zero. Add in the people with less than £1,000 put away, and you're looking at close to a third of the adult population one bill away from real trouble. Here's a number that should scare you a little. One study examined the gap between what UK households have actually saved for emergencies and what emergencies actually cost. The average emergency pot, around £3,500. The average size of an unexpected bill that people had faced in the past year, just under £11,000. That's a gap of over £7,000 between what people have and what life sends their way. Now, you might be thinking, sure, but that's other people. I'd cope. Here's the uncomfortable bit. When people were asked how they'd cover a surprise £500 bill, only around 1 in 6 said they'd use easy access savings. Raise that bill to 15,000 and it drops to about 1 in 8. Raise it to 20,000 and it's down to 1 in 10. The bigger the shock, the fewer people have a real cushion underneath them. So how do you actually build one without living on beans on toast for the next year? This is where the 50-30-20 rule comes in. It's simple enough to say in one breath. Take your pay after tax and national insurance, which is actually deposited into your account. Split it 3 ways. 50% covers your needs. Rent or mortgage, bills, food, and transport to work. 30% covers your wants, eating out, subscriptions, the stuff that makes life feel like a life. The last 20% goes towards savings or paying down debt, if you have any on a credit card. Let's put real numbers on it, using the same salary we've used before on this channel. £39,000 a year, close to the UK median. After income tax and national insurance at current rates, that lands as a bit over £2,600 a month in your account. Split it 50/30/20 and needs to get around £1,300. I want to get close to £790, and savings get roughly £525 a month. Now here's where it gets practical. Financial guidance groups generally suggest keeping 3 to 6 months of essential living costs sitting in an easy access account purely for emergencies. Research on average UK living costs puts monthly spending at around £1,100 for the typical person. 3 months of that is roughly £3,400. 6 months is closer to £6,900. At £525 a month going into savings, you'd hit that 3-month cushion in about 6.5 months. Keep going and you'll reach the full 6-month target in just over a year. That's not a fantasy number. That's one salary, one simple split, and one automated transfer on payday. So why don't more people do this if the maths is that straightforward? Because money that isn't put to work disappears. That's not a character flaw. It's just how brains work. If £500 sits loose in your current account with no label on it, your brain treats it as spare, and spare money gets spent. Give that same £500 a name emergency fund, sitting in its own separate account, and suddenly it feels off limits, even though nothing has physically changed except where it lives. Think of an emergency fund like the airbag in a car. 364 days a year, it does absolutely nothing. You don't see it, you don't think about it, you'd probably forget it's even there. Then, on the one day something goes wrong, it's the only thing standing between you and real damage. Nobody waits until the crash to go and buy an airbag, but that's exactly what most people do with their savings. They wait for an emergency, then try to build a cushion after they've already hit the floor. Now you might be thinking, 20% sounds nice, but I don't earn enough to spare that much. Fair. The 50-30-20 split is a target, not a law. If your needs eat up 60 or 70% of your pay right now, that's fine. Start with saving 5% or even a fixed £20 a week and build from there. The habit matters more than the number at the start. What actually kills most savings plans isn't a small amount. It's an account that's easy to dip into on a Friday night because it's sitting right there next to your everyday spending. If you genuinely don't know where your money goes each month, don't try to guess the split from memory. Track one normal month first, every payment, every direct debit, before you decide what counts as a need and what counts as a want. You can't split money you can't see. Here's what most people don't realize about all this. The households in the UK that say they're not stressed about money aren't usually the ones earning the most. They're the ones who've simply automated the decision. The transfer happens the moment pay lands, before the money has a chance to feel like mine to spend. No willpower involved on a Tuesday night, no fighting yourself every payday. The system already made the choice weeks ago when you were thinking clearly. So here's what to actually do this week. Work out your real number that lands in your account after tax and national insurance, not your headline salary. Apply a split that fits your life, whether that's 50/30/20 or something closer to your reality. Open a separate savings account, one that isn't linked to your everyday debit card, so the money is out of sight. Set up an automatic transfer for the day after payday, not whatever's left over at the end of the month. And pick a first target that isn't intimidating. 1 month of essential costs, not 6, because reaching a small goal quickly is what keeps people going. 3 to 6 months of cover isn't about being paranoid. It's about making sure that the next time your boiler dies on a Tuesday night, it's a repair bill, not a crisis. If you've got a story about a bill that caught you off guard or a number you're working toward right now, drop it in the comments. I read every one. If this helped you see your budget differently, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series. See you in the next video.